8 months, nothing happened. French and British soldiers sat behind the Maginot Line. Germans waited on the other side. Newspapers called it the Phony War. Then, on April 9, 1940, everything changed. Germany unleashed a new kind of warfare. Tanks, planes, and soldiers moved as one. Defenses crumbled. Nations fell in days. The world had never seen anything like it. This was Blitzkrieg, lightning war. In the early morning of April 9, 1940, German forces invaded Denmark and Norway. The code name was Operation WWII. Denmark surrendered in 6 hours. It was the shortest military campaign of the war. German soldiers crossed the Danish border at 4:15 a.m. Paratroopers captured key bridges. The Danish king was told, "Surrender or Copenhagen will be bombed." By 10 a.m. Denmark surrendered. The king ordered his soldiers to stop fighting. Norway resisted. German ships entered Norwegian fjords. The navy fought back, sinking the German cruiser Blücher. But German paratroopers captured airfields. British and French troops arrived too late. After 2 months, Norway fell. The Norwegian campaign cost Germany 5,000 soldiers. Norway lost 1,700. Britain lost 1,800. France lost 500. But the real cost was strategic. Germany secured iron ore from Sweden. The ports of Norway became U-boat bases. King Haakon VII of Norway refused to surrender to the Germans. He fled to England with his government. From London, he encouraged Norwegian resistance. His defiance became a symbol of hope for occupied Europe. On May 10, 1940, Germany invaded the Netherlands, Belgium, and Luxembourg. The Phony War was over. The real war had begun. The German plan was simple: bypass the French defenses and strike where they least expected. German paratroopers captured key bridges. They seized airfields. The Dutch army fought bravely, but was outmatched. On May 14th, the Germans bombed Rotterdam. Over 900 civilians died. The Dutch surrendered the next day. The Dutch army lost 2,100 soldiers. The Germans lost 2,000. But the real tragedy was civilian. Rotterdam's bombing shocked the world. The Dutch royal family fled to England. Queen Wilhelmina broadcast messages of resistance from London. Belgium was next. German forces crossed the border on May 10th. Belgian forts, including the mighty Fort Eben Emael, fell to German paratroopers in a single day. The Allies rushed troops to help Belgium. That was exactly what the Germans wanted. The Allies believed the main German attack would come through Belgium, just like in World War I. They moved their best troops north, but the real attack came through the Ardennes forest, a place the French thought was impassable for tanks. French generals believed the Ardennes forest was too dense for tanks. They left it lightly defended. German panzers proved them wrong. Thousands of tanks poured through the narrow roads. The French defensive line was shattered. On May 13th, German forces crossed the Meuse River at Sedan. French defenses collapsed. German tanks raced toward the English Channel. The Allied army in Belgium was now cut off from France. The trap had closed. German panzers raced toward the English Channel. They reached the coast on May 20th. The British Expeditionary Force and French troops were trapped in a shrinking pocket around Dunkirk. Surrender or evacuation were the only options. While the Allies were trapped at Dunkirk, German forces turned south toward Paris. The French government fled. On June 14th, German troops marched into Paris. The city that had held off Germany in 1914 fell in less than a month. On June 22, 1940, France signed an armistice with Germany in the same railway carriage where Germany had surrendered in 1918. Hitler sat in the same seat. He wanted revenge. He got it. France was divided into occupied and free zones. The British government launched Operation Dynamo, the evacuation of 300,000 soldiers from the beaches of Dunkirk. The plan expected to save only 45,000. What happened next was called a miracle. The British Navy did not have enough ships. So Britain asked civilians for help. Fishing boats, pleasure yachts, lifeboats, anything that could float. Over 800 little ships crossed the English Channel to rescue soldiers. Hitler ordered the Luftwaffe to destroy the trapped Allied forces, but bad weather and fierce British fighter resistance kept the German planes grounded. The German army was ordered to stop its advance. No one knows why. It was a fatal mistake. Between May 26 and June 4, 1940, over 338,000 soldiers were evacuated from Dunkirk, 198,000 British, 140,000 French and Belgian. They left behind their tanks, trucks and heavy weapons. but they lived to fight another day. The miracle came at a cost. The British lost 68,000 soldiers killed, wounded or captured. They lost 2,500 guns, 65,000 vehicles and 500 tanks. But 338,000 men were saved. Churchill called it a miracle of deliverance. With France defeated, Britain stood alone. Hitler expected Britain to surrender. He offered peace terms. Britain refused. Winston Churchill declared, "We shall never surrender." Hitler ordered preparations for invasion. But first, Germany had to destroy the Royal Air Force. The Luftwaffe launched Adlerangriff, Eagle Attack, a massive air campaign to destroy the RAF. Day after day, German bombers attacked British airfields, radar stations and aircraft factories. The RAF was stretched to its limit. The pilots of the RAF were outnumbered. They were young. Some were only 18 years old. They flew until they died. Churchill said, "Never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few." In September 1940, the Luftwaffe made a critical mistake. After bombing London by accident, the British bombed Berlin in retaliation. An enraged Hitler ordered the Luftwaffe to bomb London, not the airfields. The RAF was saved. September 15th, 1940, was the climax of the Battle of Britain. The Luftwaffe sent its largest attacks. The RAF shot down 60 German planes. 2 days later, Hitler postponed the invasion of Britain indefinitely. The Battle of Britain was won. Unable to invade, Hitler tried to bomb Britain into surrender. The Blitz, from the German Blitzkrieg, was a sustained bombing campaign against British cities. London was bombed for 57 consecutive nights. Over 40,000 British civilians died in the Blitz. Over 1 million homes were destroyed, but Britain did not break. The Blitz ended in May 1941 when Hitler turned his attention east toward the Soviet Union. Britain had survived. The Blitzkrieg had conquered Europe in 6 weeks, but it could not conquer Britain. For the first time, Hitler had been stopped. In June 1941, he would make his biggest mistake, invading the Soviet Union. The war was far from over. In Part 3, the Eastern Front, Hitler invades the Soviet Union, the siege of Leningrad, the Battle of Stalingrad, the turning point of the war. This documentary is based on historical records from the United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, the National WWII Museum, the Imperial War Museums, and academic sources. Follow Echozoftime for Part 3 of World War II. The Eastern Front is coming. Subscribe so you never miss a chapter.